Welcome to the Talltale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I'm your tavern master and host, Kyle. This month is a level 5 adventure set in a steampunk Victorian-era Fable 2-esque Faerun, where all the player characters are part of the Special Tactics unit. Joining me at the bar this month is, here because adulting just isn't fun enough, Katya. Welcome, Katya.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to take a part in this adventure.
Thank you for joining. Excited to have you here. What is your character's name and race and class that you'll be playing?
I am playing Khaos. She is a Tabaxi rogue, and we're going to have some chaos.
Good. Here to TPK and chew bubblegum, and I have braces so I can't chew bubblegum. Ryan is here as our DM tonight. Welcome back, Ryan.
Hey, thanks. It's great to be here. Looking forward to seeing what kind of insanity you guys can get up to.
Yes, excited. And Ryan is our dungeon master and returning for his second adventure here on the podcast. Next, he's so grateful to be in the finals of the World D&D Tournament. Brian, welcome to the finals of the World D&D Tournament. We're glad to have you here for that.
I feel like this has been a long time coming, so I'm just glad to get the chance finally.
What is your character's name and race and class that you'll be playing tonight?
So I am Bick Pentameter. I am a bard. A bard, primarily spoken word.
Okay, very cool.
And I'm a half-elf as well, so I feel like I have a lot to prove.
And finally, here tonight, back despite popular demand, it's Scott. Welcome back, Scott.
That's so mean. To be fair, it was mostly me demanding to not come back. So that's fair.
Good. What is your character's name, class, and race that you're playing tonight?
I'll be playing Hooks, who is a Hobgolblin Hexblade.
Very cool. And I am playing as a character tonight, excited to play once again. And I am playing a Thri-Kreen wizard named Thwick. Or actually, more like Thwick. That's how you say his name. So,
Can I get that again?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
I don't have to remove any mouth noises from this episode because it's just Kyle in character making them if he does
chittering
anything.
And Thri-Kreens are like insect people, if you did not recognize that as a thing. So, anyways, this is our 10th adventure for the podcast. Let's all go to the tavern. Ryan, take it away.
Right on. In the heart of the Sword Coast of Faerun, in the thriving industrial factory town of Daggerford, crisscrossed by a network of sky trams away from the traffic-clogged streets, along a forgotten, smog-laden alley capped by rough iron supports upholding a well-used railway, between the shops of a bilge plumber and an arcanum mistweaver, like an old dusty book forgotten amidst the others on a cramped shelf, rests the enduring Talltale Tavern. Fragrant smoke fills the air, ancient books line the walls. Settle into a plush easy chair and learn of stories, some true, some tall. Enjoy a drink poured out, watch the patrons trickle by, listen to the orators boast and tout, attempt to determine the facts from the lies. The steel-banded reinforced wooden doors part, and in walks a wizened gnome, hunched and bent by time, leaning heavily on a cane, long beard nearly dragging the ground. Bright green eyes shine with both intellect and mischief as he finds an open seat and is nearly swallowed by the easy chair he rests into. Anticipation had built amongst the gathered patrons, but seeing as the gnome has not approached the dais, surrounded by a semicircle of cozy couches, easy chairs, and coffee tables, the quiet buzz of conversation resumes. Minutes pass. Disengaging from the shadows, a lurking, broad-shouldered, wide-framed, faintly tinted gray-green beast of a humanoid sporting a dark khaki trench coat and pulled low khaki fedora approaches the Talltale dais. His expression is dazed, almost shocked, as he steps onto the raised platform. He raises his head, pushing up the brim of the fedora with one finger, turns to address the room. Eager shushing occurs as the patrons nudge each other, some leaning forwards, others settling back in anticipation. Just as he opens his mouth, a high-pitched, frantic beeping sound shatters the cozy atmosphere. The gathered patrons turn, searching for the source of the annoying disturbance, and zero in on Bick, who has just clamped his hand over an ornate wristwatch, which is flashing STU activate in bright orange lettering. Muttering apologies, he stands and makes his way to the tavern door. And thus begins our 10th episode, Killing Time. Roll intro. You have just stumbled out of Talltale Tavern. The early morning sunlight, such as it is through the smog, streaming down, hitting your eyes. You have silenced the call on your watch. You know this means that you are summoned to Daggerford Keep, where you have an assignment waiting for you. As you have stepped into the sunlight, what do the passersby see? I want you to describe your character in some detail for those listening.
And what time of day is it right now?
Early morning.
So I've been in the tavern for a while. As I walk out, you see, I believe I am, 6 foot even, very, very thin. I've got my uniform on, very disheveled, not really tucked in, and it is, you can tell it's flying like a flag on my frame. Clearly not tailored to fit me, and I just have my head hunched down, kind of covering my eyes, because the shock of the sunlight was a bit much, and I'm just hurriedly walking.
The Daggerford Keep is about a mile as the crow flies from Talltale Tavern. I would like the rest of you, well, actually, I'd like all of you to go ahead and give me an initiative roll to see in what order you are arriving at the Daggerford Keep.
Thwick got a 15.
5.
Chaos got 18.
And it looks like I went ahead and got a 9 over here. So, feeling good.
Keeping up your traditions of high rolling there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Bick, go ahead and give me a roll as well.
Me? I got a 5.
Oh, you got the 5. I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Trying to get the bad rolls out.
yep. Chaos, you arrive first in front of Daggerford Keep, which is in the northeastern part of town. It's overlooking a majestic surrounding landscape and half encircled by ethereal gardens. Its exterior is a magnificent display of medieval architecture that's been fused seamlessly with arcane and steel enhancements. The outside walls are imposingly thick and with crenulated battlements and soaring towers around it. There are mana-powered searchlights, both to survey the land around and to illuminate from strategic placements of enchanted banners bearing the United Arcane Coalition or UAC insignia, as well as the town's emblems, trying to be impressive to the onlookers and trying to let them know the importance of the UAC to their safety and security. As you stand there waiting for the rest of your team, you watch as the banners seamlessly transition from the UAC logo to that of an animated portrait of General Lyriel Silverhand, the current Supreme Commander of the UAC, whose gentle, feminine, elfin features are lined with a little bit of stress and maybe a hint of worry. As you stand there, other guard pass by saluting you crisply as you rank amongst the officers. Standing there, and as they salute you, How do they see you? How do you present yourself?
Well, I am a Tabaxi, so that's cat people. My fur is a gray-brown or gray-blue, kind of like a Russian blue. Kind of dusty. I'm wearing the standard uniform of the long sleeve jacket with the beret over my right ear because it was shredded at one point of time and I like to cover the destruction. My eyes are different colors. The left one is green and there's a long scar that runs down from the forehead down the cheek across the eye, kind of from the same scuffle that the ear got torn in. The other eye is green. I have a small cape that's attached to the uniform on the left shoulder, just kind of half draped. 5'5".
As your 5'5" gray-blue furred frame stands there, you are first to arrive, which is not uncommon. What do you do to pass the time?
I will take out my handy little whetstone and just sit there sharpening the claws.
Thwick, you arrive about a minute or so after Khaos. You see her standing there. For those who are not familiar with Thri-Kreen, why don't you give us a good idea of how you envisioned yourself and about how tall you are?
He's like 5'10". He's a bug person, so he's got a brown carapace, and his head is like kind of like a praying mantis head with those big eyes. He's got 4 arms, 2 smaller ones, and he with his and then 2 larger ones on the outside. He's wearing his blue uniform, his blue STU uniform. It is like very clean, very buttoned up, very proper and prim. And with his 2 arms, he's almost always carrying a book. He's just always has a book with his 2 arms and like a quill, and carries that almost always with him. Usually his spellcasting book, but yeah, he kind of scurries along and walks on 2 feet and strides up to the keep.
As you stride up to the keep, you see Khaos there, ever sharpening her nails with the stone.
So with Thri-Kreen, I may like chitter a little bit, like to get her attention, but then I use telepathy to communicate. That's how Thri-Kreen can actually communicate with others, because their language is ridiculous. And so, but he just says, "Hello, Khaos. It's me, Thwick. I see you. Did you get the notification as well?"
No notification. I just ended up here on accident. Of course I got it.
No, of course. You had me there for a second. Yes, glad to see you sharpening those talons there. That'll be your nails. That's gonna be maybe useful. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm curious to see what's gonna be happening.
I am too.
Hooks, you actually are stepping out from Daggerford Keep. You've already been there, but you're going up front now to meet your team as they assemble. And you step down to see Khaos and Thwick talking. How do you present yourself?
Okay. Well, as Hooks is walking out, first of all, he's waving and smiling, like he's greeting everybody that he can see, because Hooks is he's all happy charisma, smiles, letting everybody know, how's it going? Hello, wonderful day. And he's got his uniform on and it's clean, but Hooks is kind of cool, so he's got his sleeves rolled up too, which makes it easy to see where his he is missing both of his hands, although despite his name, he does not have hooks. He has 2 clockwork, what's the word I'm looking for? I said it in the Discord and now I can't remember. Like animatronic hands that he has, essentially prosthetics that he has. And he's got the sleeves rolled up so you can see specifically like where the stump mechanical attachments are fused to his like arm. He's not ashamed of it at all. He's just waving at everybody. He's probably about 5'8", we'll say. He's a little short, but he projects so much confidence that it doesn't matter, with Hooks. Other than that, he's red skin, hobgoblin, classic look that you're picturing, fairly in shape, but not like jacked or muscular or anything like that. And he just walks up, Khaos! And Thwick, you're here! And he's been actually trying to learn Thri-Kreen. He's not very good at it yet, but he tries to chitter something at Thwick in Thri-Kreen.
Was that were you trying to say hello?
What did I say? Was it not hello?
Oh no, it was close. It was actually just goodbye. But hello is more like a.
Of course, I make that mistake all the time. I'm sorry. You know how it is sometimes. I don't have as many tongues as you do. I'm not exactly sure how you're making
you need these
noises.
mandibles to really get the sound.
All right, well, you can show me later. Khaos, how's it going? Keeping those claws sharp?
Absolutely.
Good, we'll need them. We got the sharpest claws and the sharpest mind in this crew. And
they have the sharpest quill.
Yes, and yes. I was complimenting your mind, but we'll compliment your quill.
Oh, my mind. Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Of course. Now, where the hell is Bick?
That is
That's a great question. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
See, he's showing up hungover.
To walk a mile?
Yeah. He's been up all night drinking. I mean...
Oh, that's a 7.
Great. So you're right. To walk a mile, that's not much, but you also know there's a timetable when you get summoned. So you ended up running the mile. And so with your disheveled appearance, as you're showing up, you are pitting out a little bit of sweat on your forehead as you arrive to see that Khaos, Hooks, and Thwick are waiting for you.
Oh, hey Khaos, hey Hooks, hey. Yeah, am I late?
Do you have any idea what you just said? That was incredibly offensive.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was Thwick, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's what this way. That's my name.
What did I say?
It's no big deal. We don't really need to talk about it, but it's just I wouldn't say it again, and I wouldn't say it against someone who has their mother present. I would just say that.
Fair
Gonna
point.
write that down real fast.
I'll make a report. We'll file it to HR. I'm just kidding. Bick, how's it going? Up all night? Another bender?
Oh man, yeah. A lot of people wanted to hear stories down at the tavern. I made a whole 2 coins last night, which, better than most nights.
Are we not paying you enough?
Well, I mean, some extra money on the side never hurts. I'm trying to publish my book, right?
That's true, you are.
Are you spilling all the secrets?
No, they're all made up, obviously. Have you guys not noticed that there's like an agent there every single night just sitting in the corner watching?
They'd never let Bick spill any secrets. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Your watches vibrate in unison as a reminder goes off. And this time you see that you are being summoned specifically to the council chambers and that the commander is waiting on you.
Well, love to stay here and keep chatting everybody, but we should probably, do our jobs, unfortunately.
Bick has already sped out speed walking so that he can act like he's walking at a normal pace, but trying to make up for lost time.
There's that classic quick Bick maneuver right there. Love to see it.
No, we must be poignant. It just he goes immediately, so he's not late.
As you guys walk in, what is a marching order? Hooks, are you leading? Are you falling behind? What is the...
Well, apparently Bick is leading, but I'm probably toward the back of the pack because I keep stopping and asking everybody.
No,
hey,
hold on. No, this is an apple. This is a good time for us to practice our team maneuvers. You know, there's by the handbook, there's actually a good marching order for us for. I would suggest to have the rogue go first. They're typically good at sneaking and doing some recon. Hooks, if you would bring up the rear as one of our stronger members, and Bick and Thwick and I could be in the middle. I'm Thwick. We could be in the middle.
Yes. Thwick,
this would be a good
good
chance to practice as we walk forward.
Certainly, we can practice walking, but I feel confident in this team's ability to walk without any practice.
I like your spirit.
You guys go through the main doors. On either side of these massive battlements are two of the UAC soldiers who are standing in pretty much battle armor with a low-slung rifle held at a attention pose. As you walk through, they each fire off a quick salute, and you are now into the main hall. The main hall is adorned with many doors going down the way, high arches, and in between the arches, set about 4 or 5 feet away from them, are these half pedestals that have war artifacts or ancient memorabilia. As you walk by, some of them you'd still catch your eyes just being odd. A broken wand on this one pedestal, a jar of teeth on another pedestal. You go through and just, some of these things don't seem to make a much sense. A broken axe handle on the last one. As you walk down to the council chambers, you stand in and you see a imposingly tall Asimur, the gleaming, polished armor just shining with the light as it's coming in through the windows. And turning to face you is Commander Lahayat, who is wearing his signature plate armor. He snaps a salute with a polished, practiced ease and motions for you to sit around the table that has a little projection system in it as he begins to speak.
Commander Lahayat, where's your brother? I don't smell him around anywhere.
He's on deployment in his own right. That is something that is a story for another time.
Oh, thank goodness he's not here. Goodness.
Hey now, Thwick. Oh, I don't even know if you said that out loud. Who knows?
I sent that to you. I sent
Okay,
that to Last time he brushed up against me and just had to. It took a while to wash out the scent.
I can understand that. Most bugs even don't like to be around Dirk. He is that disgusting.
As you pull around the table is roughly 10 feet in diameter. There's plenty of chairs around, more chairs than even what you will be using. He gestures to the middle of it, and a small relief map of the surrounding area pulls up. Commander steps forward, hands behind his back, his wings pulled in behind him, slightly framing his shoulders. We received word from the town guard that one Riala Swifthand of Swifthand Teas reports her farmers have unearthed a Steamlord spider while plowing a new field. The UAC has repeatedly assured the Daggerford suburbs that no war machines remain, and it would appear we missed one. I need the 4 of you to quietly investigate and resolve this matter. We don't need the populace being worried that these spiders are coming back or the Steamlord Confederacy is rising again. This is located about 2 miles outside of the South Gate, which is roughly to your east. It's a large plantation that spans 50 acres. We'll be making sure you have standard provisions. And looking around, he says, but the time, the fastest way you're going to be able to get there is going to be to take the Skytram. The traffic these days has been brutal.
To be clear, these are mechanical spiders you mentioned, or are these real arachnids?
He would take a moment to remind people of the Steam Lord spiders. They are mechanical in nature. They are about the size of what people would remember a young dragon could be. They were massive constructs of steel charged with arcane energy that were deployed as a frontline infantry destroying mechanical beast back during the Mana Wars. They were the Steam Lord Coalition, the Steam Lord Emperors and the United Arcane Coalition had a massive falling out over the direction that they wanted Faerun to be going in. But the victors won, the good guys got it. It's amazing the way history works that way.
It's crazy how it's always the good guys who won in all the books.
It's the way it works.
Yeah. Are we the bad guys? Oh no. Don't worry, Commander. We'll squash your bug problem. No problem. No offense, Thwick.
Though done taking these mechanical spiders are a mimicry of true art, of the true art form of us, Chemiptera.
You excited to bat at some spiders, Khaos, and I don't know, drag them and
I can't wait. My character's already standing. She's by the door. She's like, let's go, guys.
Thwick, do you have like spiders in your family? Is that insensitive?
Oh, no, I don't have any spiders in my family. It's not insensitive. You know, we treat spiders with respect.
I know, we were all thinking it. God damn.
They are kind of icky, though. I mean, you know, tiny bugs. I mean, imagine like a tiny little half-bard or half-elf, like, started crawling on your leg. It'd be icky, right? You'd want to brush it off. It's just,
wait, did you say it would be gross to have a half-elf crawling on your leg?
You're a half-elf, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so imagine if you were in my shoes, when I see a spider crawling on my leg, it's kind of gross. If you saw a tiny half-elf crawling on your leg, it'd be strange and weird, right?
Don't you also make people smaller as one of your, like, tricks that you do?
Oh, well, I can edit. Yes, I have all of your bios in my handy book here, and I can make some edits as we go, if we need to.
Okay. It sounded like you were saying if I saw that on my leg, I would like squish it and be grossed out, not think like, oh, maybe this is someone who had a bad day.
Maybe it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to put myself in your kind's shoes when there's so many of my kind everywhere. You know, sort of.
Makes sense to me. Our shoes wouldn't fit. We don't have the same size.
Say, do you even wear shoes?
Yeah, my feet are weird. They're like little big paddles, right?
Little big paddles.
It's like big paddles. Like, I don't know what Thri-Kreen's foot looks like.
Look up,
I imagine you're just showing your feet right now.
Yeah, somebody Google Thri-Kreen foot pics.
I'm just picturing Thri-Kreen feet pics. I'm picturing like Hopper from A Bug's Life squishing somebody. You know, I feel like I've got some sort of image there of a bug's foot there.
Yeah, I usually go to Kevin Spacey for my references for most things too. So
If that
yes,
is
Commander. Yes, we're headed out.
Any further questions about the assignment? Do you need to visit our armory, or are you all well positioned? Anything that you need before you set out?
Team, I think we're all set. Everybody came prepared, right? Watches go off. You come prepared. That's the rules. Will the farmer be expecting us? That you said was had reported this.
Riala Swifthand is expecting an STU group to arrive, but the rest of the populace, the townsfolk, the farmhands, we're trying to keep this as quiet as possible. So try to be incognito.
All right.
We will take the task, and it seems fairly standard. You know, a mix of maybe Operation Shadow Veil or Operation Quiet Storm, kind of sprinkled in there a little bit, like we've done before. Seems pretty standard. We'll make it happen.
He nods and says, "Remember, swift as a storm, silent as shadows."
We don't even respond. That's how quiet we are. We're already out of the room. He turns around and we're gone. Whoa.
Ninjas. The Daggerford Keep has 3 tramways leading from it that then go to other areas. They all terminate and originate from Daggerford Keep. And you would know that you need to hit the south line to get out of here. But I'll let you guys make your way. You may have whatever conversation or whatever provisions you feel like you need, but it sounds like you're pretty well ready to go.
Everybody have their standard Dungeoneers pack with them. I have a list of the typical inventory that we take. Crowbar, hammer, 10 pitons, 10 chemical torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, a canteen, 50 feet of hemp and rope. Everybody have all their materials with them?
I thought we were being silent as shadows. Is that done?
Well,
Khaos just puts her hand on Thwick's shoulder and starts to guide him out the door. Can I reach your shoulder? Hold on, how tall are you?
5'10". So
Okay, perfect.
reach,
Yep.
you can reach my smaller arm's shoulder, maybe.
I don't like that sound.
Weird.
I can reach.
Yeah, you can reach all the way up.
You have all ridden in these tram cars before. They are sleek enclosed cabins, have a large panoramic window that offers just a great view of the Daggerford city and its surroundings. They're constructed out of a combination of polished metal and ebony wood, and they're adorned with the emblem both of the UAC and of Daggerford. It's got double doors that are automatic that slide open smoothly as they arrive at the station. And each car is equipped with comfortable seating of about 10 people, depending on the size of the humanoid. And they've got some safety railings in it, emergency communication systems. It's also illuminated gently on the inside, so even at night you can see around. You have taken this before and know that although you're traveling a distance of about 3 miles, that if you were to take the actual streets, it'd probably take a couple of hours to get through because of the traffic. This will take about 15 minutes once you get on the Skytram. So as you approach, the Skytram is open. You're able to walk in. The doors close behind you, and the cables, slight few bumps, and within moments, you are now roughly 230, 250 feet off the ground, being suspended from the Skytram as you are moving south across Daggerford, south-southeast, towards the south gate. You've got about 15 minutes.
I am never gonna get used to this height. Why couldn't they have made this lower?
If you sit down, it'll feel lower.
They true, sit. But it's good to be up high, up in the clouds. Breathe it in.
What kind of clouds are we talking about?
Well, over this city, they're not the cleanest clouds, I'll grant you that, but it's a fine city, and just look at it, and look at all the splendor, all the beautiful people down there.
As you do look down, you do see there seems to be a separation of like nice bright blue sky, fluffy white clouds, and then almost this gray, ashen, sooty fog that just sort of slowly covers the rest of Daggerford.
That's the side of progress, everyone.
The smell of civilization. My character is scratching words into the wall of the cart with her claws.
Okay, so this Steam Lord spider thing, they said they only found one, right?
So far.
Right, they said they unearthed one, but I'm pretty sure, there could be more, but could be formidable all by itself.
So they don't need someone commanding them.
I feel like they probably need someone commanding them, but perhaps they're worried that there's someone around there who could have activated it. I don't know if it needs commanded or if it's a construct that just needs activated.
Why don't you go ahead and make a history check for me? This is something that your character would probably know, given your background with the UAC.
How's a 12?
That's good. You would know that these machines had both a remote ability and some innate programming that they can operate independently, but in certain situations they could be directly controlled.
There's always a risk that somebody left the switch on autopilot instead of, manual. So
Seems a little irresponsible, but I guess that's why we're going there.
right. Well, I don't think that the Steam Confederacy was thinking about being responsible when they were trying to, separate the country in a civil war.
The
And that's why
entire
they're the
tram
bad guys.
gently bounces as you go by one of the towers, transitioning, and then boom, boom, boom. You see another tram car passing you as you go by.
I wave.
It's empty. No one waves back.
Well, they might be invisible.
Very true.
Thwick has been just sitting, studying the handbook, kind of flipping through the pages as they go, kind of reviewing,
Wick,
studying.
look out the window. Look at these beautiful sights. You've memorized that dusty book by now.
Hooks, as you are standing up, gesturing to these beautiful sights, the sound of the universal-sized mirror exploding, this massive sound of shattering glass, this sound that is beyond understanding. I need all of you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
I don't know what sound effect I'm going to find to add in post for that.
It's
Beyond comprehension.
Aren't there keywords you can use?
Oh boy, Thwick rolled a 9. Usually less than 10 is fine, right?
I rolled a 5. I'm pretty sure my nail got caught in the wood.
A 5. Oh, jeez.
And a 14 for me.
You are all knocked prone to the floor of this tram as it is shaking violently. You hear the sound of things ripping through the air. Hooks, you have staggered to your feet, and what you see outside starts to just break your mind a little bit. You see almost as if a large jagged window pane, a fracture in reality, is flipping end over end, coming right towards you. You see on the sides, scattered out, smaller ones scything through the air like knives. And as this massive window pane is flipping towards you, as if in stop motion, on the window pane, you're seeing what appears to be beings of immense power and grandeur, shining like many stars, bestowing blessings on gathered multitudes. Then you're seeing it flip, and you're seeing images of hurricanes. You see it flip, and you're seeing dust storms. You instinctively put your hands out as it's coming through the door at you, through the wall of the actual tram. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Nobody panic. This will be fine, I'm sure. A 21.
Ooh.
Bick, Khaos, Thwick, you look up and you see as Hooks is starting to dive to the side of this pane of, not even sure, it looks like the reality itself is broken, comes through, and he just about gets out of the way, but it catches across his shoulder. And as it does, you see his physical form start to flake, and motes of gold dust, and his whole body is gone. A fine dust of gold falls over all of you in the tram. Looking at this stunned, you notice the light is out in the tram.
I reach out with my telekinesis and just try and search for him to see if I can contact him at all. Just, Hooks, are you gone?
There's no answer.
Okay, don't worry, Thwick. Calm down, calm down. He said it was going to be fine. Remember? He said it would be
nervously
fine.
chittering.
Hey, Khaos, you want to back me up here? He said it was fine.
It's gonna be
He
fine.
probably knew what he was doing.
No, what
Yeah,
was
he always
that?
has a plan. He always has a plan. Always a plan. Breathe.
Was that a new, spell he was working on?
No,
Did he tell you guys about,
it
a vaporize into gold dust spell?
they did not tell that to me.
And I do not
Okay.
believe that there's anything that exists like that.
You've heard of Misty Step. What about Glitter Step? Boom.
Is the dust
drop.
still on the floor in here?
Make a investigation check.
A 22.
Great check. You're looking about. You don't see any of the dust. It looks like it's faded away. What you do see, intermittently, almost like a shark fin coming up through water, you see another little fracture of reality. They seem to be coming less frequently, but you see one kind of dive through and going around.
Is it in the tram at all?
The dust?
No, the like diving reality fin.
You saw it come like through the floor a little bit and then back down. So if anything, you would think it's below. All of you are basically still prone or on the floor of the tram.
So Hooks is gone. He didn't turn into dust because the dust isn't here. I think things might not be okay.
Yes, this is bad. Can I see these things? Are they hurling towards the earth, towards the city at all? Is it?
You are on the floor of the tram.
Oh, okay. I'd like to stand up.
Okay.
And try to get my bearings and look around, see what's happening.
Stand up.
Wick,
make
you don't
a
have to
perception
tell
roll.
us when you stand up.
Perception roll. Okay. 13.
You stagger to your feet, not only reeling with the emotion, but also reeling with just what you are seeing. First thing is you notice that when you could usually see the outline of Daggerford and the city on the horizon, there seems to be a massive purple dome of energy surrounding the entirety of Daggerford region, and as best as you can see, seems to extend maybe 1,000 feet up into the air. Across that scene of blue purple energy, you see these flickers of images that are almost in stop motion, similar to what we've described earlier. Looking around, you notice that about a mile to half mile away is another dome, much smaller. And from that smaller dome, you are seeing these fractures of reality slowly emanating away from it. You also notice that on that dome, these little fractures of reality, you see it's swirling with these rapidly shifting seams that seem to span the width and breadth of time, as if a child is like chaotically flipping back and forth within a picture book. And you look down and nothing is moving. No traffic, no people, birds are caught in mid-flight. Everything seems to be completely frozen in time.
Oh, it's the beginning of Cloudy with a Chance of Fireballs Part 2. We're caught in that right now. That's what's happening. Okay.
Hey, Thwick, does it seem like anything's flying at you that's going to turn you into some fleeting gold dust? Like, does it seem safe?
I didn't think one of those were flying at us right now, right? I didn't see one.
No, you look around and you can see well beyond you like a shockwave. These bigger things have all flown by. You see some small, maybe even dagger-sized shards here and there, but it looks like the majority of that threat has already passed.
Okay.
Nothing headed to our direction, but oh boy, it seems everything is frozen in time below us. And I start rapidly flipping through the handbook. Time. This is not part of the modules. This was not part of any of our exercises. Time being stopped. We have not encountered this before. This is. Guys, I don't think we're up to this. I don't know where Hooks is. I think he's literally dead and in a billion pieces.
I take the book from him. Stop. Pet him. Tell him to breathe. We got this. Think outside the book. I tuck it into my belt so he can't start flipping through
I
again.
do need the book though. Can I have the book back, please? The book is very important to me.
Let's wait until you're breathing. Calm and collected.
Okay, I just gotta sit down then.
Hey, Thwick, let's think about what time is, okay? Time is this endless flat circle, okay? In the grand scheme of things, we are just tiny flecks, and time is this meaningless
Tidy
void
flex.
surrounding
Hooks
us.
is a tidy fleck.
Okay. I don't feel like I calmed him down at all.
What can we see in the car right now? Is anything different from kind of before the unspeakable event?
So there seemed to have been a loss of the innate power that was on there. There is no illumination. Even the exit signs are now off. You are sitting completely motionless, roughly 75 feet from the closest tower, about 250 feet off the ground. You do know that there are some emergency releases and hatches and things of that nature that you can go looking for.
And nothing outside of us is moving, and the tram's not moving, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna take a torch, ignite it, and then toss it out of the car, just to see if when it leaves the car anything strange happens.
All right, so are you trying just to open one of the sliding side doors? Are you looking for the emergency hatch? How are you gonna throw this out?
I was just gonna try the sliding door.
So you go to move the sliding door, and just like many sliding doors, they're kind of like you have to move them together. So give me a strength check to see if you can get that to go on your own.
My strong suit.
I see what you did there.
Nope. That's a 4. So I did it, right?
Yeah. You're able to get your finger in it, and you hold the torch, and you're trying to pull, and you can tell you're gonna need some help.
Hey guys, I shouldn't have lit this before I opened the door. Could someone give me a hand?
I mean, Thwick has 4 to lend.
Thwick-
So.
5 actually. Eddie casts Mage Hand and grabs it. He's still like kind of bundled like on the floor, kind of panicked, doesn't really want to move and get close to the door, but he will use his Mage Hand cantrip to help open it.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Since he's giving you help, go ahead, Bick, and re-roll with advantage this time for your strength check.
What's that big 5 pounds that Mage Hand can provide help with? Or
Yeah.
10?
19 and a nat 20. Okay.
It's more just the leverage, gotta get just the right leverage.
Makes sense.
Having someone
So-
believe in me helped too.
It does. So you are able to get that door to open, and this intense odor of ozone hits you. You have your torch. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just toss it out, but make sure that at no point does any part of me breach. Yeah, I'm keeping my hands inside the vehicle.
At all times.
You toss the torch out, and it tumbles through the air and just goes until you see it hit the ground below. Give me a dexterity throw.
15.
Okay. It does not seem to hit anything organic.
That's good. Is it still burning as it goes down?
It is. You see it
Okay.
go all the way down to the ground and land and kind of roll a little bit.
Is the ground dry? Like, are we over a city? Are we kind of towards the farmland?
You're still in Daggerford. You never made it all the way out. You are probably about a mile and a half, 2 miles from Daggerford Keep. You were probably 3/4 of the way to the south gate.
So do we need to get down? Is that what we need to do, we think?
Well, so I was worried that throwing the flame out time wasn't passing outside of this car, but I don't think that's true. Then it wouldn't have kept burning or moving. So is there a way we could slide this car down to the next tower?
Slide it down? I don't
Well,
know.
because we're on a tram wire, so there should be some kind of like emergency release
Yeah.
so we can move it along.
Sure. I mean, we can do that. If we need to fly out of here, then I can edit our sheets a little bit and give us the ability to fly. But I kind of like the idea of trying just the emergency release. It's an emergency release for a reason. It should be safe, right?
I feel like we should not say reassuring things like it's gonna be okay or it should be safe. Just moving forward.
Oh, okay.
Is the train powered by energy from beneath, or does it have little wires connected? the trolleys.
Go ahead and give me a Arcanum check. This is kind of looking at your understanding of the lore of the time and how things go. I don't think you necessarily would have mana electrical knowledge given your character's background.
18.
Great.
You're wrong.
So she knows it all. So what you know is that these cable cars have their own mana batteries that would then be recharged as they go through the stations, and that they typically have an extremely long life. And for that to have failed suggests something much larger has caused a disruption.
Can I climb on the roof? Just to take a
Something I
better
can try.
look. I'm assuming the door is still open. It didn't like slam back shut. Okay.
Correct, the door's still open.
I'm gonna
Don't
climb
worry,
on the
guys.
roof.
Hooks can cast fly, so as soon as you bring me back, I'm gonna.
Oh, and I should clarify, the fly only works on one person, and I don't have a higher spell ability to cast it on multiple people at once, so it's just one person.
I can climb. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You go to look at the outside of the tram. There are several handholds that are there for things like maintenance. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. So we can do athletics or acrobatics. I'll give you your choice there, whatever you've got best.
I'll go with acrobatics. 9.
So you go to climb out, and as you are climbing out, the air is still. Nothing seems to be moving, but there is just enough condensation that your grip slips for a moment. I need a dexterity save from you.
14.
Okay. You cry out in alarm and are
Oh, I'm
just
sorry. 17. I lied. I can do
17.
math.
That's better. You still cry out in alarm because you felt yourself slipping, but with your cat's grace, your claws dig into the side of the ebony. And in the inside, you actually see her claws come through the roof a little bit, and she is stuck and stable. You're able to get yourself the rest of the way up onto the roof, and you see that there is this thick, probably 2-inch diameter cable that is running along. You've got a suspension system there, and that there are 2 levers on either side of the suspension system. One is red and says release, and one is blue and says maintenance.
My tail is very fluffy, because that was very frightening. Can I make my way towards the release valves?
Yeah, they're right there. They have these 2 valves on either side of the suspension mechanism, so you can get to it very easily.
I'm gonna pull the release one.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength check as you're going to pull this lever.
3.
3. It feels stuck, so it takes you a moment, and it's enough time for Thwick or Bick to maybe ask how you're doing.
Hey,
It
what are you
doesn't seem-
trying to pull up there? I hear some noise.
It's a red release lever.
What?
It's
Release
stuck.
as in like drop the car?
I mean, maybe.
Okay, and you're making sure it's closed and not gonna open up?
Absolutely.
Any other levers you found?
There's a maintenance lever.
I mean,
Can you
that
pull
one
that
seems
one?
good. I mean, what do you think, Thwick? Do you have a manual on this?
Do
I have his
I don't think I have any schematics for the sky trams. But maintenance versus release sounds bad. That sounds like we'd fall, right? So,
Well,
maintenance.
it's only bad for whoever you don't cast fly on, really.
Right. That is a good point. But I can only cast it on one person, so it'd be the 2 people.
It's fine. It's fine.
Maintenance.
I got this.
Sure. Why don't you? We gotta get somewhere. Gotta get moving. Pull the maintenance one.
Okay. So you're pulling the maintenance one. Go ahead and give me another strength check. Let's see how you do.
19.
All right. You
Good.
pull it, and you feel this pressure release. and the entire tram vibrates a little bit, and you feel it start to slide, and it is very slowly, inch by inch, going towards the tower that's behind you. It's sliding backwards towards the tower.
Is that where we launched from originally, or is that just one of the points on the way?
It's one of the points along the way. It is a tower you've already passed, but you are sliding slowly back towards it.
So just to clarify, we're suspended? Because I guess I was picturing more of like a railroad and an aqueduct.
Think more like a cable car. I say that's cable cars.
A gondola?
Yeah, like a gondola or like a ski lift system.
Yep. Release was a bad idea. Release was very bad.
Well, is there a way you can speed this up?
Everybody move to the front? Maybe our wait.
Okay, they move to the front.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone does move to the front, and that shift in the weight does seem to get you guys going a little bit faster. You are now moving at about 15 or so feet every couple of seconds, so it's coming up pretty quick, and that tower is approaching. First of all, it was slow, and now you realize it's coming kind of rapidly, and you'll have the realization that you don't have a way of stopping this.
Run to the back. Run to the back.
Run to the back.
My exact thoughts.
You run to the back. It slows just ever so slightly. It looks like you've picked up some speed. That tower is now starting to approach pretty quickly.
Hey, Khaos, can you grab that? How confident are you in that? Because I assume you're still on the top. Or did you climb in?
No, I'm still there.
Could you maybe hit the lever again and stop it? Maybe if you close the maintenance lever, see if it slows us.
I'll try to jostle it back up.
Okay, give me another strength check. It's a little more difficult because you are moving and there's a lot of friction going on.
5.
You almost like trying to apply a brake. It slows just a little bit, but you're unable to close it all the way. It's becoming apparent that you guys either are gonna have to wait for the next tower or maybe jump for it.
Is there like a platform or anything on this tower, or is this more like just a truss structure we'd grab?
It's a truss structure that you would probably have to climb down. These all have maintenance hatchways and ladders on them. And you've seen them and been by these things hundreds of times, but you've never probably climbed one yourself.
Quick vote. You guys want to wait for the next one?
No, I think we gotta jump.
I agree.
Okay.
And I get out this like guidebook that I have, and I flip through it. And I say, okay, Bick, here, proper jumping. Make sure you bend your knees low, and then spring forward once we get there. Okay, and that's guidance. I'm giving you guidance. And if needed, if I fall, I could use fly on myself, I suppose. But you're dexterous, right? I think let's do it.
Let's do it.
And as it approaches, you are all like 3, 2, 1 and jumping. So let's go ahead and have Bick, then Thwick, then Khaos. Give me, acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you're going to be best at.
You said which, athletics or acrobatics?
Or acrobatics.
Okay.
I've rolled better than that. With my +5, we got a 6.
You roll your guidance?
Oh, no, how do I add guidance?
Just roll a d4, I guess, and just
Roll a d4 and add it.
I don't feel like that'll save me, but I do appreciate it. Okay, so the 1 was the d4, so a 7.
You got a 1. I got 14 on my acrobatics.
I got 15.
So Khaos and Thwick, you guys are able to jump on and grab onto the railings and get yourselves attached to the tower. You see in some alarm as Bick jumps out, tries to grab, hands sweaty, slips down, and starts to fall to the lower platform. Bick, you can get 1 dexterity saving throw.
Just regular dex? Oh, dex save there. Okay. 16 on that one.
Okay. You fall 20 feet, but do manage to careen yourself and fall into one of the lower platforms, landing flat on your back. You're going to take Only 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you are knocked prone and your breath is completely gone.
You just see a thumbs up come from me. Thanks for the help. I think I jumped really good.
You did wonderful.
Meet me down here.
I told you, bend the knees, spring forward, Bick.
I go down there, make sure he's okay, help him up.
Time has stopped, so he got confused if he was supposed to spring forward or fall back. He wasn't sure. He didn't know what to do.
Which knee?
That was shameless.
Even from the grave, I have to make terrible jokes.
You know, if Hooks was with us, he would have a bad pun for this. Makes me miss him a little less.
How far are we from our kind of goal destination right now?
Depends on what your destination is.
Well,
Your
the
goal is-
original one. I guess I'm asking the original one.
You are about a mile away from the south gate. When you are looking around from this positioning, you are about half a mile from what you can summarize was the epicenter of whatever happened, as there's another smaller dome that extends several hundred feet up. But from what you can tell, it is having the same kind of chaotic imagery flashing across it. On occasion, it is clear enough that you can see that within that dome is another dome. And it seems like they're kind of like coalescing towards some kind of center.
Let's go explore the shiny thing.
Yes, let's go forward.
Wait, how far are we from where we left?
You guys are a good 2.5 or some odd miles from Daggerford Keep.
Okay.
The shiny thing is closer.
Well then, yeah, let's do that. How far down do we have to climb, though? Because I don't want to do another...
You're about 50 feet up now, because of this lower platform. There are, from this point, easy maintenance hatchways and ladders that you can find to climb down. So the DC for climbing that is not hard.
do you have any advice, Thwick, for using a ladder?
Oh, yes, of course I have
Spring
advice. I
back.
flipped on my book. Yes, climbing ladders. Make sure you have a firm grip on each rung as you go forward, go down or up, and make sure your feet are placed firmly on each rung. And make sure to test each one before you go, lest it be flimsy. As your guidance.
I'm actually a little bit more confused now because that was way too many steps.
Yeah. Rungs. They're rungs, not steps.
During the monologue, I just pulled the book back out and handed over to one of the many hands of Thwick
Oh, thank
and
you.
just start making my way down.
Go ahead and give me a athletics or acrobatics, whichever one is you're better at. As you climb
For
down
all of
here.
us, or
Yep. So we got Chaos.
16.
I got a 9 for Thwick.
I don't have to use guidance, right? Can I hold on to that?
You don't have to use it, no.
You know, I'm actually going to use it.
I don't know how ladder guidance is going to help you with anything else. When
we get into combat later,
Thematically, yeah.
this is just like climbing down a ladder.
yes, and you get to use your guidance.
So what did each of you roll?
Thwick got a 9.
Bick, you got a...
With guidance at 25.
Okay. And Chaos, you got
15.
15. Perfect. Without any issue, you make your way down to the ground. As you navigate this oddly frozen landscape around you, and you are walking towards the dome of purple-blue energy, you see that there is a small fountain that some ducks are currently frozen in time. The water of the fountain frozen in mid-spray. And there you watch as there was a older halfling woman caught in mid-swing throwing bread.
Can I walk over to that and like poke at the piece of bread and see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
I walk over and I poke it.
You poke at the piece of bread and it falls to the ground.
Oh, I walk over to the woman and touch and put my hand on her shoulder.
No! What? Who are you? What's going on?
Hello, I am Officer Thwick. I of the Special Tactics Unit. I am a Thri-Kreen and I communicate primarily through telepathy. This is a one-way communication. Be reassured that I cannot enter your mind or thoughts. If you wish to speak to me, you must do so audibly unless you, of course, have the ability to communicate telepathically back. I can communicate through any language, but I only understand Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Gnomish, so please use one of the listed languages. Thank you, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. It appears this whole area is frozen in time, and by touching you, I have unfrozen you.
You see her eyeballs just get so huge as dinner plates, and she looks around and she just starts screaming.
Oh no! Here, let me show you. And I'm gonna go tap the water on the fountain and like point like it's very helpful that I'm doing this. Like this will clear it up.
You tap the water in the fountain, and the part that you touch falls to the ground and splashes in with the rest of it, but the rest of it stays frozen.
I'm just gonna like have my hands swirl around in it to try to get enough to go through the fountain.
It's making like this big fountain. You splash in water, and whatever you touch kind of comes back and acts like it should. The rest of it stays frozen.
I'm catching the ducks. How many were there?
The ducks start quacking, and seeing you as a natural predator, immediately try to get away from you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I would like to help calm me. Bick, you have the words. You could you help calm this woman down with maybe words instead of demonstration?
Yes, ma'am. What's your name? My name's Bick.
She is having a hard time not screaming in your face. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
18.
She, breathing heavily, Candace Underhill.
Okay, so Candace, we are agents with the STU. We just unfroze you from time. Things are gonna... No, things aren't that bad. Anyway, and I'm just gonna look at Thwick like it. I got her to stop screaming. Was there anything else?
Ma'am, if you could, maybe walk around and touch as many people as you can on their shoulder appropriately. It came out weird, but I think if we start a ripple effect and if you tell that person after they stop screaming to tap more people, maybe we can get Daggerford back to its normal state.
She looks at her hands, looks at the Thri-Kreen in front of her, looks at the Tabaxi and the Half-Elf, and then she puts her hands palms towards you, and she kind of starts walking backwards and trips over a halfling who gets startled, and they start walking up, and then the two of them start talking, and you realize that this could take a while.
I think we just keep going, guys. They got this. There's a couple of them. They'll touch each other. It's fine.
Bick, I really need your help. At some point after this, I have this little thing I say to people when I first make contact with their mind. Maybe I need some different words. It doesn't seem to be having the effect that I thought it would.
What had you been saying? We could maybe workshop it.
But what I've been saying is, hello, I'm Officer Thwick, I'm a Thri-Kreen, and I communicate primarily through telepathy. This is a one-way communication. Be reassured that I cannot enter your mind or thoughts. If you wish to speak to me, you must do so audibly, unless, of course, you have the ability to communicate telepathically back. I can communicate through any language, but I only understand Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Gnomish, so please use the listed languages. Thank you, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I think it's a rather nice blurb to say to somebody at the first meeting, but...
No, do you see the problem with saying I cannot probe into your mind, so just don't worry about it?
Oh,
because that was, I think, when she started screaming.
I suppose. Maybe.
I'll write something out for you.
Okay, thank you.
So I assume are we at the dome?
I think we're still walking there.
You have maybe 2 blocks to go, and as you do make your way there, there's plenty of other frozen individuals you could interact with, or you could elect not to. The dome, it's an impressive display of pure, raw, magical energy. Even those without a magical sense feel a little bit on edge being near it. And as you walk closer towards it, you almost get this static feel.
I'd like to throw something at it.
Okay. Scouring around, you can easily find a rock.
I like rocks. You want to throw? It's a bad throw. What's a 5?
A 5.
Jeepers.
Well,
Getting all the bad rolls out.
Yeah.
it doesn't go as far as you had hoped. You were aiming for a lot higher on the dome, but it ends up going about 4 feet in front of you, right into it. And as the rock sails through, you see it make a little splash, like the dome kind of pops out towards it back in, and there's a little bit of a woo wobble across the dome that emanates as ripples all the way across it. But you don't see the rock anymore.
I think I could actually do something to see what's inside this. And I sit down and do a ritual cast, and I'm gonna ritual cast Find Familiar. And my familiar is going to be a spider. And
Okay.
So that takes 10 minutes. But my familiar, I can basically use his senses and command him to go through it, and I can see, I kind of zone out and can't see anything around me. But I can communicate with it within 100 feet, and I can like see through it. I think I can pick one sense
Okay.
as it moves forward.
Okay, perfect. So, as he is ritually casting this for 10 minutes, do the other two of you do anything, or are you just sitting there?
I'd like to walk around and see if the dome is different anywhere, like on any of the sides. How wide is it?
It looks to be probably 1,500, 2,000 feet wide. It's huge. Not as big as the one that encompasses all of Daggerford, but it's really, really big. And as you walk about it, you still see those ripples, those chaotic images being pulled through time itself, I guess you could say, that are being displayed across it.
Could I throw a magic dagger at it to see if it reacts differently with
Absolutely.
magical things? So I have the bracer of flying daggers where I can just pull 2 of them off and throw them.
Okay.
And it's never empty. It always has daggers.
Sure. So go ahead and make a attack roll with your dex and your proficiency.
Where do I see the proficiencies on this sheet?
So if you click on the number for what you're rolling, so strength check, if you hover over your modifier and press it, it'll roll that for you. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, and it'll just put the number in when you do.
So you can do
My
that for your
lord.
weapons too.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So we'll call that a 21 to hit, and you throw one of your daggers. It seems to sail right through. Another ripple of energy goes across the sides of this dome.
So it reacted the same way.
Reacted the same way.
Okay.
Before I flip over to Thwick, Bick, would you have been doing anything?
Yeah, so I've been writing out a better intro for Thwick. I'm trying to shorten it. And it's honestly pretty hard to do because starting with "don't start screaming" also doesn't give off great vibes.
All of this will be consensual. That's a great opening.
Yeah, all this will be consensual.
Do you consent to let me speak into your mind? Tell that.
Yeah.
I think what Thwick needs to do is just move his mandibles as if he's talking whenever he's speaking telepathically, so people think he's just talking normally.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't realize.
So you ruined it, but I literally have my brainstorming here, and that was one of my ideas.
Well, I'm dead. It
awesome.
doesn't count.
Great.
You can still say it. It's fine.
So Thwick, your ritual casting is done. You're able to send like a little probe your familiar in, and you are using what sense as you send
So
it in?
I do get vision and hearing. I read
Okay.
the spell again. So, but then I zone out and don't have those senses while I'm doing it.
Okay. As you send him in, I need you to roll a d6 for me.
That is a 3.
Cool. So as you are going through his vision, you find him emerged into this area of Daggerford that you're familiar with, but it looks older. And there's a night sky. You hear the distant rumbling, sounds like maybe thunder. You see some flashes of blue lightning through the sky from this vantage point. The street that you are standing on as the spider is littered with rubble, fine dust. You don't see any people. You hear the distant shouting and what sounds like a siren going off. After a few moments, a voice you can't find the source of shouts, "Incoming!" And there is a brilliant flash of bright light overhead. And as your spider maybe gets up on its haunches to look at it, you see this ball of blue flaming energy falling out of the sky. And you lose contact.
Oh, jeez. Weird. It's like Daggerford in there, but old. And it's nighttime, and I think a big blue ball of fire or something hit my spider friend.
Blue balls of fire?
Sad about that. His name is Mark.
Hey, Thwick, when you're telepathically talking, can you, like, move your mouth like you're talking?
Oh, I guess. Do I make noise, too? Or just move it?
Let's try if you make the noise. Let's see how unpleasant that is.
Okay, I do that to like make probably too much noise, like.
Okay,
You just talk, Kyle. I'll be the mouth noises.
Okay. Every time, yeah.
We'll work on that.
Thwick, make a performance roll with disadvantage for me.
To see how
Oh,
good
me?
it
Oh,
looks.
good. Yes. Performance roll disadvantage. Great. I have
With disadvantage.
I have a -1 on this already. So at disadvantage, that's a 2.
Okay. Yep. It is extremely unsettling.
Good.
Just gonna cross that idea out.
Boy,
So you
I
said Daggerford, but old.
don't know.
Like how old?
It was just years past, back when we didn't have sky rails and mechanics and.
Make a history check for me.
Good. 21.
Wow. Given what you saw, given what the nature of things were there, you could pretty reliably guess that this was sometime during the Mana War, when Daggerford was being assaulted.
Oh, it's during the assault of the Mana War. Boy, it's just strange. I feel like maybe we should go in. I just, Hooks is gone, and I don't know what happened to him, but I feel like he's still here. Like I can't really describe it. It'd be great to find him, I guess, if that's possible. I don't see.
How long ago was the war? Like in years, roughly?
So the Mana War would have been about 30, close to 40 years ago.
Are we able to communicate with our watches? Like, the higher-ups can send us messages, but can we, to each other?
No,
Okay.
they are not that kind of communication.
And would I assume I would know how old Hooks is, right?
You can roll
I
maybe
guess I'll
history to see if that's something you
roll
picked
a-
up.
Roll history of friendship.
He's pretty private about his
Ooh.
age, so I don't know if he.
10. How secretive
Yeah, I don't think
are
that's
you?
pretty secretive. You would have been.
Well, I mean,
Dead men tell no tales.
I think very worst, we might be able to find Hooks as a baby. Right?
Does anyone know what Hooks looked like as
I
a
don't
baby?
need.
I don't
Well, he
think he
can go
had
back in
hooks.
time and alter his future.
When did he lose his hands? Because he might not have even been called Hooks at this point.
Maybe he was born without hands.
Well, I'm fine. Yeah, let's look for him.
Should we
Normal
go?
him or baby
we go
him,
in.
either way.
There might be giant balls of mana or fireballs, something like that, raining down upon us.
Don't you have a thing you can protect us with? Like magic shield against blue mana?
I mean, I can raise your armor class by +2 on your sheet. I don't know. I have everybody's general dexterity. You know, your ability to be nimble and your armor that you typically wear, and kind of calculated that into a different class. I could raise that by 2 for a person, but that's probably the amount that I could protect somebody. That wouldn't really help from dodging a fireball, though.
The other option would be to stay out here and wake up the entire city one by one and have all of them go through their screaming fits.
Pass. I'm going in.
Can I look back and see what if the wave is continuing? Is it just passively? Is it?
Looking back, you can see that it seems to be that a slow amount of people are starting to touch others, and then going through the screaming phase, and then trying to calm people down, and so there's some natural spread occurring behind you.
I say, well, give me a second. I take out my quill and I say, this will help, and it's gonna give me. We got about 10 minutes, right? This is fine. And I take out my quill and I start moving it in the air, and I'm casting Skywrite, and so I'm writing and moving the clouds in the air to write a giant word in the air that just says, "Don't panic," is what I've written above the town.
Douglas Adams approves. Love it. I love it. Go ahead and giant skyward saying "Don't panic." Yeah, give me a performance roll.
Okay. Another -1.
How good is his handwriting?
It's a 1.
You are uncertain what effect, if any, you have had with your skywriting.
Did the don't fly away, and it just
says panic.
It just says panic.
Yeah. Khaos has her paws held out, and she is ready to plunge into.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm
Let's
ready to
do
get
it.
out of here. I think we better move.
As you step through this tingling sensation, and almost like you expect to feel wet, but you don't, comes over you, and you step in, and there is this brilliant flash of yellow-white light, and the three of you holding hands are blinking, and you hear this sound. You've heard geese honk before, but this sounds bigger and mechanical, and you hear the rumbling of some kind of mechanical engine. You smell the smell of soot and of almost like an ozone. You're hearing the sound of many vehicles moving across the area, and your eyesight comes to you, and you're looking around, and you recognize a street sign. It's still here in Daggerford, but the buildings are stretching up to the sky. You see all manner of people walking in strange dress, just kind of looking at you oddly. You see these lumbering, massive vehicles on wheels that doesn't look to be of metal or wood, almost like a spongy black substance. And they're moving so fast in front of you. There are throngs of people on all sides. They look at you oddly for a moment and then very quickly pay no mind as they watch this cylindrical light that they are facing, and it goes from a red to a green, and all of a sudden this massive amount of vehicles stop and people start crossing across the road in front of them.
I bring my tail up to my nose to hide from the smell, because gross.
We don't see any blue fireballs flying right now, though.
It's bright and sunny, and there's no blue fireballs.
What do we hear?
You hear the sounds of hundreds, thousands of people talking. You hear people hawking wares, saying strange words, and you presume are common, but the words don't make sense in the way they're being put together. You hear the rumbling of engines. You hear the distant sound of you thought thunder at first, and you see this very peculiar looking looks like a bird, but it's too big to be a bird, flying overhead with like these stiff wings. It's hard to describe. It's like nothing you've ever seen or heard before.
Is there a shop or a pub that we can step into?
You see all kinds of signage for things that say words like the All Gal Eatery. You see the Downtown Electronics. You see these Pump and Go. You see these weird signs that just don't make much sense.
Can we see the dome border behind us that we just walked through?
You turn, look behind you, and you are in what you recognize to be just a dirty, disused alley. It has trash kicking around the gutters. You looking for a dome. Give me an Arcanum check for me.
A 17.
That's just what you needed, sir. You get this strangest sense of deja vu. You've been here before. You've been on the street corner before. And you know where you need to go. It's across the street, one alley down to your right. And you know this to be true.
So I'm gonna turn. Okay. And Khaos, let's go. Follow me.
Can we pause and I try to like make us look less weird? Because I have like disguises. Can I like adjust what we're doing to look a little less different than the rest of the people walking around?
And if you want to convince Thwick and Bick, yeah.
Oh, yes, sure. Anything... I guess we do stand out in our uniforms. I'm not really wearing anything underneath. What would you suggest to hide us? Do you have makeup to make me not look like a Thri-Kreen?
In the disguise kit, I would have like cloth to make clothes. Could I throw just literally like a cloak, like make a cloak out of just a string, a yard mount?
I would take it. I would take it.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead and give me a deception roll to see how well you do here.
The size of the bugs in this city are getting out of control. Look at this guy.
15.
Okay. So, yeah, you are able to disguise Thwick so that he is not quite so noticeable of being a carapace-laden, bipedal, four-armed insectoid.
Would this help? Would this help?
But I changed my carapace color. It was like brown before. I changed it to like a flesh-colored tone.
Delightful.
You can do that?
Oh yes, I could. Any color of the visible spectrum, I could change by carapace too. So, how's this? Is this a little bit better? Look like
Beautiful.
We're human.
Simply beautiful. Does it like pull the hood further for his face?
Good.
I'm gonna kind of curl my tail up so it's, I guess, tucked into my pant leg because I don't think I could shove it into my jacket comfortably.
I'm not gonna make a third leg joke. Vic, you know where you need to go, and as you are watching, the lights seem to have changed, and now the vehicles are rapidly crossing again in front of you. What do you do?
Okay. We need to cross here. Do you guys think we're able to dodge these? Because they were just stopped a second ago.
Let's.
But that orb over there was red. Can we turn it green? Or it's green now. Can we turn that red?
Oh,
Magic?
Let's see. Would prestidigitation do it, or would that be able to turn the color of a light?
I think it probably could. Let me double check.
I could
Create an
break it.
image like the size.
Well, I can
yeah.
do a minor illusion over it. So I could just put a slightly bigger circle over it that's red.
Try that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I like it.
I'll do that. As long as it's not more than 30 feet away.
No, you'd be within close enough range for that. So you go to make this minor illusion to turn the green red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not changing so you're just covering the green with the red, basically.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Why would it
that's
matter
great.
what position it's in?
No, it's perfect. I love it. So go ahead and make a deception roll for me with that.
24.
So initially, you don't seem to see anything, and then you hear this sound of as something is trying to stop, and there's this puff of black smoke coming from many different tires, and you hear there's this chain reaction of vehicles all trying to stop, and you see them piling into each other, and you hear people getting out, and you hear the honking goose noise again, and people are yelling and screaming at each other, and you see them giving gestures out the windows. Traffic stopped though.
It's time
Guys,
to run.
let's go. And I'm going to run.
Yep.
Great work.
Okay.
Bick.
And I'm going to drop the
Here we go.
illusion as I go because I don't need it anymore.
Right. So you guys run, you go, and you get this innate sense that you're running down the extra street. You pass one alley, then the second alley, and you turn, and you see that on either side of the alley, there seems to be some metal ladder work that goes up to a platform, then up to another platform, and it kind of crisscrosses almost all the way up to the top of the building, which looks to be like 14 stories tall. But 3 stories up, just almost hanging in the air, you see this tear, like a rip in the fabric of reality, and you see peeking through it purple blue energy.
Guys, I think we have to go up there.
Let's do it.
Let's get in there.
And I've forgotten how to use ladders. I really wish I'd held onto that ladder guidance.
You thought it wasn't needed, and look how it all turned out. Guys, it's
Hand and foot,
Fortnite. You're in
opposites.
Fortnite. It's a Fortnite rift. You gotta get it to...
Opposite over Jason. It's fine. Just go.
So I'm going to start heading up to the 3rd floor. Or actually, no,
Yes,
I'm
same.
remembering Thwick's marching order. So I'm going to offer Chaos. Do you want to lead?
Great point.
Good.
I'm gonna scale
yes.
up, though.
Great point. Usually, yes. I'll take the rear. My carapace actually provides a little bit higher armor class than yours does. Your bardness does. So I'll take the back.
I think he just called you
Thwick,
squishy.
quick point of order. Please stop talking while doing that.
The clicking with
Yeah.
the
I'm just imagining
All
though
right.
that they asked Chaos to lead to like watch her use the ladder, but she's a cat. For Tabaxi, she can just has a climb speed. She just climbs up the wall. Doesn't even use the ladder.
yeah, he doesn't even use the ladder.
Without a whole lot of effort, you guys get to that 3rd platform, and the tear, this rift, is hovering parallel to it, about 6 feet away.
Like into the side, like
6 feet away.
6 feet away, seems to be hanging in midair.
in midair.
Jumpable distance, but it's definitely hanging in midair.
So is it a discrete object or is it like part of the wall? Like part of the wall was replaced with this?
No, it looks like it's a tear in reality that if you kind of look to one side, you see it maybe as thin as a piece of paper, but it has 3 dimensions to it, but it is just hanging suspended in the air.
How big is it?
You would guess it's about 4 or 5 feet wide and probably 6, maybe 7 feet long, and jagged. I mean, it literally looks like someone just took reality and pulled it apart.
Well, I've been looking all through this book, and I cannot find anything in the STU handbook that describes anything like we're experiencing right now. But there is chapter 14 is about improvisations, and Bick, you said you felt like this was the right way to go, was through the rift.
The 3rd floor was where I knew to go. Is the rift... Does that seem natural to me? Do I have like some affinity towards this? Or am I confused by it?
No, in seeing this again, it's this innate sense of deja vu that this is the way forward.
I think, yeah, let's improvise. And I'll go ahead and jump into the purple line.
All right, go ahead and give me a athletics or acrobatics. Let's see what you got. So we got Bick going first.
A dirty 20.
I'll take it. Thwick, you were actually, I guess Chaos would be next because you were taking up the leer, Thwick.
Oh, Chaos, you can make sure, squat, leap forward, jump. Here's your guidance.
Got it, sir. I rolled a 21.
21. They both jump through. Thwick, you are now alone in a very unfamiliar territory. What are you doing?
I'm going immediately. Very nervous.
Acrobatics, or did you
Yep.
say athletics? Or
Whichever your highest gun
Ooh, a 17.
makes it. As each of you flash through, once again you're getting this brilliant yellow-white flash of light. You land and it feels hard. Some kind of rocky, little bit sticky, little bit crumbly surface. You each have this gear from the STU that is enchanted to try to keep your temperature pretty normalized, and you're instantly sweating if you can sweat. It is deathly hot. It's like breathing into a 400-degree oven. It's got this huge odor of burning rock and brimstone. Your eyes slowly clear, and as far as you can see are slow magma rivers easing its way to the river of Daggerford, and you see these massive steam gouts coming out of it. You see massive elemental fire lords slowly walking across the plains. You see there are gigantic red dragons, fire drakes, dragonlings flying through the air, making this cacophony of calls to each other. There is very little vegetation. There's rock outcroppings everywhere. The entire Daggerford Faerun area, best as you can tell, you are in some kind of early primordial ancient history.
Guys, I think I may have misled us.
I wish I could sweat. This is awful. My insides are bubbling. Bick, do you...
There's Imodium for that.
Yeah. But Bick, do you know where we're supposed to go?
Do I have any sense of deja vu here?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check again.
Dirty 20.
Dang, man.
Nice.
Jack of all trades is helpful.
Yeah. In this case, you do get another sense of deja vu. The three of you are in a bit of a ravine, and there is a rivulet of magma that you can just see that is going on a rough southwest to northeast direction. And you get this strong sense that you need to crest this ravine and get over that fire, that little magma river.
Guys, I think we need to go over that magma river right there. I have that exact same feeling that I had last time when I led us here. So how do you feel about that?
I have a lot of misgivings, but we don't have any other ideas, so I guess we're gonna go with that.
I'm not
All
leading
right.
this time.
How wide is the magma river?
Can't quite tell from here because you are in this bit of a valley, and the magma river itself is probably 40, 50 feet away, but it's also up at an angle, so you can't see how long it is. You can just see the bits of stone being thrown from it, and you can, even from this distance, you can feel heat, but heat feels like it's emanating from everywhere. You can see the glow of it from the ground around you.
I think we head that direction.
Onward, upward.
So, given the tremendous amount of organic life forms that are in the area, that are massive and calling and intermittently blowing fire and snapping at each other, going with stealth or just making your way?
Definitely stealth. Big, fast-moving things are scary.
Okay. So Chaos, give me a stealth check. And then Thwick and Bick, if you guys are going stealth as well.
Yes.
How far are we from the river area?
Got about 40 to 50 feet. You got to get to the edge of the river. Up a slight embankment.
23.
I rolled an 11.
Not 1 for a total of 4.
Perfect. Great.
If only someone could guide me.
Yes, there's no guiding that. That's pretty poor. Oh boy. Was there a way? So can I do I recognize that like I and Bick are not going to be very good at sneaking that she is? Because
as you watch, Chaos is ahead of you, kind of leading the way, and she is a candle amongst the flames here. You almost can't even see her how well she's moving quietly. And the two of you immediately stood up and started slipping on some loose shale and sent a whole cascade of rocks down. So they're clearly you're having more trouble navigating this terrain than
Bick,
Chaos.
hold on. I pull out our sheets and I just go down and I just write in our bios that I have with our abilities down. I just write invisible on both of us. So I'm gonna cast invisibility at a 3rd level slot, which allows me to do it on 2 people. And so, Bick, this is gonna help us. And Chaos, you're not gonna be able to see us for a bit.
I give like I acknowledge I heard him, but I don't say anything.
Perfect. So with you both being invisible, you can re-roll that stealth with advantage.
I got a 17.
15.
Great. You approach the incline, and a few things you see. First of all, is that this river of magma is at the widest about 20 feet. At the narrowest, it gets down to about 10 feet wide. Can't tell how deep it is, but it's moving at a good pace. On the other side, about 5 feet away from the embankment, you see a depression that looks like it's been dug out. Almost, you've seen the turtles that come to beach around Daggerford shores where they dig these big pits out and lay eggs. Yeah, it's like that, except these eggs are the size of a horse. And they are all gently shaking, purple and pink in color. And wrapped around the clutch of eggs is one of the largest dragons you've ever actually laid eyes on.
Oof.
It is a large, red, black scaled dragon. And in the middle of this clutch of eggs, you see the tear in reality.
Would we know what language dragons speak? I assume that they have their own.
Draconic?
You can make maybe an Arcanum check for that one, just to see what legend information you have about that.
Here's my question. Can Thwick see his books to look things up while invisible?
Because they turn invisible
On you.
everything involves. Yeah. Can I close my eyes? Actually, avert my eyes, because are my eyelids invisible?
Actually,
I don't have eyelids. I have big, giant, freaking.
If your corneas are invisible, then there is no limiting the light that goes to your eye or to your optic nerve, and so you're instantly blind anyway. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
How far are we? So you said we're on the from the Terran reality.
So
roughly
from the Terran reality, if you guys are standing, and I would assume you try to find the nearest point within that river, from the Terran reality across this river of fire, you are right at about 80 feet from the Terran reality. Bick, you were rolling an Arcanum to see if you knew
I got a 12.
You know that they have an innate language. You could make the assumption it's probably Draconic, as you are not unfamiliar with the dragon kind that still exist. You've not seen an actual dragon before.
So, Bick, the way, just to let you guys know, the way my language works, I can communicate with anything as long as it knows a language. It can understand my thoughts. But then, of course, I can't understand it. Unless I cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual, which I could do. But we're invisible. Maybe, I don't know how long does this last? This might be our best chance to actually just sneak in through and get into the rift.
Well, so we could sneak. Khaos
I
is
can
gonna
teleport.
have to really.
I can teleport.
Oh,
I have the cloak that I wear. It lets me teleport to anywhere that I can see or picture. So if I say, I don't know, 80 feet straight or 70 feet down sort of thing, up to 500 feet, I can poof there.
okay.
Well, I say we just go for it. We're invisible.
Sounds good to me.
They can't see us. It's fine. I hate this place.
Yes,
My insides are
everything is
boiling.
gonna be.
I think I'm gonna be dead in 10 minutes anyways.
I could take one willing person with me, or one willing creature, as long as they're not bigger than me. So I guess that's a moot point.
Well,
Well, by bigger, it really means like a class size bigger than you. So as long as you're all medium, you could take that.
great. Well, my stealth is a. I have my stealth written down as a +2, and I have. What is Bick's?
A +3.
A +3. Oh yeah, Bick, you have me beat on your stealth. I could give you some guidance on being sneaky, real quick in my, Thwick Skybook of everything I have here, and then I could be teleported with her, and then that'll all work out.
I see nothing going wrong with that.
So you are on the western shore of this river. For people who are teleporting, you could directly teleport from where you're standing right into that portal. For those who are not going to teleport, to cross this river, you've got about 10 feet of liquid rock to get across. There are 5 stones that are kind of jutting out that you could potentially cross that don't seem to have completely melted away yet.
I feel like it's safer to try to befriend the dragon without knowing their language. I guess, do you guys want me to try to climb across the rocks, and if I die, you can carry on?
Join me, Bick.
If I cast so we're invisible right now for an hour.
Yeah.
If I cast anything else like fly, I have to concentrate on that. So I can't help you with anything like that, and you'd be visible then. So I guess try to get across the magma. We'll stand by to help.
Just be ready to put him out, if he
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine.
How are you going to
there-
see if he falls in if he's invisible? Sorry, I'm not here.
Splash.
We'll see the splash.
It's a lot
right.
like fairy fire, except it's fairy lava right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then you follow the screen.
Is there anything that we could prop towards the rocks, like some sort of pseudo makeshift, less likely to fall in bridge?
Well, looking about, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I feel like I would be in on this too, because I don't love the idea of not having a bridge.
20? Dirty?
There are lots of loose rock and debris. You could just maybe filling up a sandbar, spend some time throwing stuff across there and maybe hope that nothing noticed while you were doing this.
Just random rocks floating.
I have a suggestion for Kyle. For Thwick.
What's your suggestion?
Just that you have the
I'm
ritual
hearing
spell.
Huck's.
You have the ritual spell Floating Disc, Thwick, and it will follow you.
I do, but then
if you
we're
get
invisible.
If you get 20 feet away from it, though, it'll follow you. So if you just get across? Won't it float across? And then you're teleporting.
would, but then we're
Then he
visible.
won't be. Well,
And then it's a floating disc with a person on it.
is it concentration?
I figured it was concentration.
It's a ritual
but-
spell, but I don't know.
Oh,
if
it's not concentration though. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that. I thought it was concentration, so that's why I wasn't going to do it. So yeah, it's. Do I have 10 minutes to cast it as a ritual,
We're all sweating. Go for it.
or do I feel
You
bad?
do have
You're the
10
one who's gonna
minutes.
die in this. without the ability
Yeah,
to sweat.
10 minutes. The sun, it feels like a
With
giant
everybody
magnifying
sweating.
glass pouring, burning into my carapace.
With everybody sweating and it being 10 minutes, I'm going to have to require repeat stealth checks. You still have the advantage for being invisible, but there are things called scent. And
no,
you
We
are
probably
sweating.
I
smell
hate this.
ripe.
I hate it. I'm going to use my once a day ability as a Order of Scribes wizard to just cast a ritual spell with its
Without the ritual?
that there. So I'll use my once a day ability to cast floating disc immediately instead of having to do it as a ritual. And so there's now a floating disc there, and have Bick, go ahead, sit on this. We'll teleport. It'll follow us. It will follow us. It may be conspicuous seeing a floating disc, but hopefully it doesn't seem aggressive towards this magnificent beast.
What's the disc look like? Is it completely opaque?
Hey, the description is just that it's a plane of force.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it
Oh,
would be
it is. So
pretty
it's a
much just
plane of
opaque.
okay.
Kind of like the force field that the Sand Rider rides on, right?
Oh, nice. So it's not really even visible very well. Cool. I was picturing
It just
just
looks
like actual little disc.
Thwick, is it right here? And I'm gonna just try to step up and see if I get on where it is. But also, you can't,
I can't
see
see
me.
you very well, and I can't see the disc
Yeah,
very
Thwick
well.
is pointing right at it. Just look at where Thwick's pointing.
It's right here. I'm using 3 of my arms.
So to clarify, we are staying invisible. We are then using the disc to get across. We're not using the teleportation then. We're just all getting on the disc, getting across.
They have to teleport because
Yeah,
the
we have
disc
to-
only moves if Kyle's not within 20 feet of it. Like, it starts following him when
Yeah.
he gets 20 feet away from it.
Okay.
I do
So-
have a disclaimer.
Uh-oh.
If we arrive in an occupied space, then the teleport fails. Just throwing that out there.
Just
Just,
teleport in the air
aim.
above the rift where there's nothing at. Then you'll fall
Well, we
into
can't
it.
go. We don't want to go into the rift because who knows what happens to that disc if we go to a different plane of existence or something. So
Teleport.
maybe we
He's
get
invisible.
close
It's fine.
to
He'll
it.
follow us.
Yeah, that's true.
We could wait for him to cross first, and then we could teleport.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have to
but
teleport
you guys
first,
just
so it
teleport
follows.
to the
yeah,
other
touche.
side. The disc will
Yeah, and then
follow.
we'll wait.
And then just don't
So-
go through the portal to another dimension until I'm not over lava.
But then we still have to sneak through the dragon nest.
Is this only a one teleport a day kind of thing?
It is until the next
Well, we can
dawn.
teleport right next to the rift, right? And just
what
wait.
Into a dragon's nest?
That's like its nest by the eggs that it's in.
Yeah,
That's the
you're
trouble.
That is like
Let's get
non-consensual probing.
Just
let's first
like
get off the bag.
50 feet above it, and that'll probably give enough time for the rift to move towards you guys and get across the
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Assuming that your momentum doesn't continue with you through the rift, you'll be fine, right? I don't know what it felt like to go through those things.
Wet, but dry. Damn.
So yeah, let's teleport close-ish, but not like right in front of the dragon, and then he follows on the disc. Can we do that? That sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Only question I have about that is just to clarify, are you trying to then teleport so that you are on the ground right next to the rift? Or you're trying to, like was suggested, kind of fall into the rift?
Right next to it, I think, because I don't know what's gonna happen with that disc if we go through the rift. I don't know, I'm
So
not
we're
sure if
still
it's
gonna
gonna
have to
follow
sneak.
us through the rift.
Past the dragon.
Okay. So you can see where it is, and that's going to work in your favor. So there are if you think about it this way, like something out of the Aliens movie when they have all those face hugger eggs everywhere and they're kind of clustered, scattered about. It's like that, except imagine that those eggs are like it can contain a small horse. There's a massive eggs and they're all in different stages of growth and they're all kind of writhing and moving around. But you can see a clear area where you could teleport to.
Are we ready to rumble?
Ready to go. Let's do it.
I'm like 95% sure I'm on the disc right now, so go for it.
Yeah.
Can you like move around a little bit, Thwick, to see if the disc will move and if Pick moves?
Yeah, it should work. It'll work. Yeah, but I
is
move
he
20
on
feet
it?
away and it starts nudging towards me.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
All
So
They
you
distinctly don't
teleport.
see Kyle, actually.
Yeah, you actually have no idea it's moving.
Do you
You
feel like
both-
you're moving?
Bamf across, you are now standing in the midst of this ground that is like soggy beneath your feet, and you can hear it squelching almost like there's a mucus to the sand. The tear in reality is right in front of you, and you see, but you don't see Thwick. You get the sense that the disc is following you, and you see it in your mind's eye coming down, and then you realize that with the contours, it may not stop for the organic things. And Bick, you realize it got you across and you're coming down, but like a saw blade, it hits the first egg. And this force starts, and you start to see this egg, and it's starting to splatter up towards you. Almost like a scream, but not a real scream, starts to emanate from it, and you see the dragon looking around. The portal is 20 feet in front of you. What are you doing, Vic?
Is there, as far as I can tell, and maybe I can't tell yet, is there a baby dragon coming out of that small egg? Or is the egg just being ruined?
The egg sounds like it's being ruined, and it sounds like some kind of primordial, horrific scream is emanating from the egg.
And so much
There
trouble.
are 5 other eggs between you and the portal, where you can see Chaos standing there. You can't see Thwick. It's a bit of a meandering path, but this force disc is still going straight. It's making a beeline for where Thwick's position is.
So it's headed straight towards the portal right now.
It's headed straight towards the portal, and there are several eggs in the way, and it is not stopping for the eggs.
I'm going to jump off of it and sprint towards the portal, but try to not go in a direct line from where the disc is. Like jump
Okay.
off the disc to the side a bit, and then like go around and back to it. So like a C shape.
Okay, the terrain is a little bit sticky, and it's not quite difficult terrain, but I do need an athletics roll from you because you're trying to make your way. Thwick, you see what's happening. What do you do with this force disc?
I get rid of it. It's ruining these eggs. It's not good. I
All right.
dismiss
You guys
it.
just changed history, and Bick is definitely cursed, or whoever destroyed that egg. But you can't just fucking with a dragon egg. You're cursed forever,
No,
right?
I'm cursed. I got a 4.
You got a 4? Okay. Yeah.
It's just like Tiamat's egg or something.
As you are running, your feet catch underneath you, and you fall and you skid, and you boom hit up against another one of the eggs. You feel this leathery egg, and there's a mass, something firm pokes against you. You are now prone, and there is this massive form that just comes across as this gigantic dragon is sniffing around and heading for the ruined egg. You're invisible, and you thank your stars you're invisible.
I'm gonna try to crawl quietly.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll. No advantage this time, just a straight stealth roll as you're trying to crawl with this dragon going over top of you.
Literally walking on eggshells.
And 9.
It is just enough as you brawl to where Khaos and Thwick are. You feel this sudden squelch as your foot slips and hits one more egg. It actually slips inside this ichor, starts sliding out of it. The dragon roars, comes crashing towards your guys' location. Khaos, you reach out, you grab, you feel Thwick, you grab and you find purchase on Bick, and you go through the portal. A blinding yellow-white light fills your eyes. You land on the ground. It feels firm. It smells like Daggerford. The ground you're on is kind of lumpy and maybe a little bit clothy. You stand up and you're wiping your eyes and you're looking about, and you're on the other side of the portal. You've made it through that first series of domes, and you're back in Daggerford, but everything's still frozen, except as you look down at this. Well, Scott, why don't you tell us what your other character looks like?
Oh, okay.
Other character? What?
Well, I'm sorry. Do we not all have two characters for this one? Well, you've collided with a figure that I'm guessing Bick might remember that he saw in the tavern earlier, which is you've clashed right into a gigantic Jack Turtle wearing cloth bandages. Turtle wearing cloth bandages wrapped around his fists, wearing a trench coat and a classic like trilby or a fedora covering his eyes. What's the big idea? What are you doing on top of me right now? Get the hell off of me. Who are you? Who are you people? Who sent you? You looking to throw down?
Oh, did you, Bick, did you have the new thing for me to say?
Oh, yeah, so move your mouth like this, but don't make any noises with it, and then
okay.
do your thing with him, but just start with, this is all with consent.
Oh, okay, all right. So, this is all with consent, and then I repeat everything else.
Quick, stop the lip flapping. Well, you think I never seen a Thri-Kreen before? What's your problem, huh? Who are you?
Well, I'm Officer Thwick. This is Officer Khaos and Officer Bick and.
Lawman, eh? I got no beef with you. What are you bothering me for?
Who's that? Did someone step on him? Was it?
I think it was me.
I think all of us
All
landed
three
on
of you
him.
kind of just landed on him, and as you look about, he's the only one moving, talking to you. Everything else is frozen in time, which, Frank, might seem a little odd to you.
Yeah, what's the, wait a second, what's the big idea here, huh? Whole town stop moving. They say turtles are slow, but this is a little slow even for my standards, even what I'm used to, huh? You did this?
So,
you three?
Are we
We're trying to
back
fix
in
this.
our rough estimate of our timeline?
Looking
Here we are.
around, yes, because you can see the large purple dome that surrounds the entirety of Daggerford. Even from here, you can see it spanning thousands of feet ahead. You can see that there was a smaller dome you just passed through. It's still there, but you're now on the inside of it, and ahead of you is another half mile, another smaller dome even.
Okay, hey, your name is Frank, right?
Yeah, Frank Clubb. Private detective,
Frank.
what do you need?
All right, so we got some mysterious things going on. So you're actually in luck. See that that guy sitting over there?
Luck is a 4-letter word, pal. I don't believe in it. What guy?
See that guy over there holding his drink?
Yeah, I see him.
And it's like just in the air awkwardly. Go tap his hand. See what happens.
Tap his hands. You want me to throw hands with this man?
No, just touch
gently
him.
Tap him
touch.
up. I go up and just, I as gently as I can. But he has colossal fists. I gotta say, like this guy's he's got bowling balls for hands. He just taps him as gently as he can on the cup.
This relatively frail, older human male who's been pouring, and this is still morning, so he's pouring like ale into a big mug. Startled, moving around. The cup and the mug go everywhere. The liquid he was pouring stays frozen in the middle. And he's, who are you? Why are you bothering me? I'm thirsty.
No need to be bewildered, you booze hound. I just saved your life. You're welcome.
His face is flushed, and he's looking in the bottom of his mug and looking around and seeing everything kind of frozen. He says, I haven't felt like this in a long time. And he throws the mug over his shoulder and starts just drinking right out of the bottle itself.
All right, well, hopefully you won't remember it. Remember it only causes the pain to linger. And then I walk back to the rest of the group.
And I'm going to write that down because that's good.
All right, what's the deal, huh?
All right, so time is frozen. We unfroze you because we fell on you, so you're welcome for that part. We don't know why time's frozen. And there's also a steam spider we have to go take care of.
Don't
I don't know that that's as relevant.
Stop it.
Yeah, you got about as many answers as I expect of the law.
We also went into that rift. I wouldn't recommend it. It was pretty confusing and weird, and we about almost died probably 3 or 8 times. We have no idea what's going on, sir. Just to be frank.
Valid summary.
I'm sorry.
I'll be frank. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. To be forthcoming.
All right. Well, I mean, if you're asking for help, I suppose I could help you out. Doesn't seem like there's any chance this place is getting saved by you 3.
I mean, we only broke like 2 dragon eggs. We didn't do that bad the last hour.
We were looking for a friend. I was thinking maybe he was alive. Now I'm kind of more sure that maybe he is actually dead.
Sounds like he's probably dead.
R.I.P. Hooks. I just get that feeling. But maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. I'm grieving. This is
We're all
confusing.
looking for a friend in this city, pal, but let me give you some advice. If you want to make it here, you better build a tougher shell than the one I got on my back around your heart, because you're never going to find a friend in a place as cold as Daggerforth.
Ooh,
Do you need a drink?
I could use about 100. So where are we headed to then? You just bump into me and then what?
Onward.
I mean, the dome seems to have made progress where we've gotten back to where we were, maybe, so progress is relative? You're the detective. Does that make sense?
It made perfect sense to me. You think you're making progress, you wind up in the same place.
So, can I do maybe a perception or see if there's any inkling of like a direction that looks like something else going on, like anything, or it feels like a...
Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. That's a 19.
You get this powerful sense of you've been here before. You've done this before. How many times you're not certain. You get glimpses of failures, of successes, of a path for success. And you know that the road ahead of you lies only 150 feet in front. Right around the corner between these 2 houses is the next barrier, the dome of purple-blue energy.
And I feel like that's where we gotta go.
Not only do you feel like it's where you gotta go, you're certain you've done it before.
Well, I get this real strong feeling that we gotta go this way. Kind of like what you had, Bick. The only thing I got going on for me right now, for us, I think we gotta go.
Onward.
Okay.
Sounds good to me, pal. I'm just along for the ride, it looks like right now.
As you walk, you see that a horse has kicked a fruit stand and that all of this fruit is caught in mid-flight. You see looks like an awkward romantic proposal as one person is down on the ground holding up what looks to be some kind of a bracelet, and this other person has their hands over their mouth in shock and excitement, and you're walking through this bizarre landscape of frozen life, and very quickly you find the 4 of you now standing spaced shoulder to shoulder in front of this dome of purple-blue energy, the chaotic pictures of different time periods flashing across it. It's slowly rippling.
I'm gonna hold my hands out towards Tortle and whoever's closest to me, whether that's Khaos or Thwick. Oh, hey, Frank, we hold hands when we do this. It's kind of our thing. You wanna join?
Pal, these are lethal weapons. You're not going to want to hold these things.
Okay, I guess same time
We can link arms.
That's probably better. I want to point out, though, that for Frank, by the way, it is a gray dome because Frank is colorblind. He sees everything in gray.
How many shades of gray is that?
There's a million shades of gray in this city. It's all I see. It's nothing but shades of gray, but they all point toward black.
With that inspiring quote, the four of you step into the barrier. There's a brilliant flash of this bold white light, and the narrator sets his cup down and clears his throat, as we'll pick up there at the next episode of Talltale Tavern.
Whoa! We zoom out from the tavern and into reality. Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, hey!
Can we go back? I don't like this.
Thank you to all the players this week, Brian, Katya, Scott, and Ryan. Their socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of the episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Talltale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord, too. Thank you to Tyler Adelsberger for our intro music. Thank you to Zazar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time at the Talltale Tavern.